If you have kids, there's something you're probably not doing, and it's not food, it's not water, and it's not money. It's something much simpler, but at the same time, much more dangerous to ignore. Because in a real crisis, children don't react like adults. They freeze, they get scared, and they depend completely on you. And the worst part is that in those first few minutes, you don't have time to think. You have to act. And if you didn't prepare for it beforehand, it's already too late. In this video, I'm going to show you the 10 things you should have ready if you have kids, because just one of them can make the difference between chaos and control. And stay until the end, because the last one is the one almost nobody prepares, and the one that causes the most mistakes in a real emergency. Most people think of survival as something individual, but if you have kids, the equation changes completely. It's no longer about surviving, it's about protecting, calming, organizing, and making decisions for more than one person. And that multiplies mistakes, because while you're trying to think, they're crying, asking questions, freezing, or even panicking. That's why this isn't about theory, it's about real preparation, about concrete things you can set up starting today so that when everything fails, you don't have to improvise. The first one sounds basic, but it's where almost everyone fails. A simple plan. You don't need a perfect plan, you need a plan that works under pressure. Because in a crisis, your brain is not in logical mode, it's in survival mode. That means you forget things, make bad decisions, and react impulsively. Now imagine that, but with kids around. That's why you need something very simple, a place to meet, a clear first action, and knowing who does what. Nothing more. Not a complicated plan, but something you can explain in a few seconds, because if you can't explain it simply, you won't be able to execute it.
Teach them what to do. There's another huge mistake almost nobody sees. Many parents prepare things, but they don't prepare their kids, and that's a problem. Because in an emergency, they don't understand what's happening. And if they don't know what to do, they'll do the worst possible thing. Nothing useful, or something dangerous. That's why you have to teach them. It's not about scaring them, it's about training them, like a game. They need to know how to react if they get lost, how to stay close, who to go to, and what not to do. Because when the moment comes, they won't think, they'll repeat what they already know.
Prepared documentation.
In a chaotic situation, there's something many people forget. Bureaucracy doesn't disappear. It becomes stricter. Hospitals, shelters, authorities, they will all ask for identification. And if you have kids, that's critical. You need copies of documents, medical information, and important contacts easily accessible. Because in a crisis, your phone might not work, and your memory won't either. Imagine arriving at a makeshift hospital with your child and being asked about allergies, medications, or blood type, and you hesitate. That's the moment you want to avoid.
Backpack prepared for them.
Another key point is the backpack, but not just yours, theirs too, adapted to their age. Because if you have to move fast, you can't carry everything. And giving them their own backpack has a very important psychological effect. It gives them a sense of control. Inside, there should be the basics, like water, some food, clothes, and something else you'll understand later. It doesn't have to be perfect, it has to be ready.
Water.
Water is another critical factor, but not just because of quantity, but because of access. Because in a crisis, kids don't understand what rationing means. They're thirsty and they want it right away. That's why you need simple systems, easy access, and to actually know how much you need. Because running out of water isn't gradual, it happens fast.
Food. And not just any food, but the kind they will actually eat. Because in a crisis, stress kills appetite. And if they don't like what's available, they won't eat. And that becomes a serious problem. You need food they recognize, accept, and that's easy to prepare. Don't think about what's ideal. Think about what's real.
Emotional management.
Now comes something almost nobody prepares, but it's the first thing that breaks, the emotional side. Fear, crying, confusion. Kids don't understand the context, they only feel the chaos. And if you don't know how to manage that, it multiplies. You can't eliminate fear, but you can stop it from spiraling out of control. Your calm becomes their stability. And here's something that might sound silly, but it's not. An object. A stuffed toy, a favorite item, something familiar. In the middle of chaos, that can be stability. It can be calm. It can be a point of emotional control. Because in extreme situations, emotions weigh more than logic.
Meeting point.
But there's a scenario many people don't want to imagine, and yet it happens. Separation. If you get separated, what happens? You need a clear meeting point, easy to remember and safe. And you need to repeat it so many times that it becomes automatic, because in that moment, that's all they will have.
Time. And now we get to the most important one of all, time. Not literal time, but reaction time. Everything you've seen so far has one goal, to buy time. Because in a crisis, time is everything. Every second counts, every decision matters, and everything you prepare beforehand is time you gain later. If I had to summarize all of this in one idea, it would be this. When you have kids, you can't afford to improvise, because you're not just deciding for yourself, you're deciding for them. And in a crisis, fast decisions are the ones that save lives, but only if you've already made them before. Most people will never prepare until it's too late, but you're not most people. Now you know what to do. The question is, are you going to prepare today, or are you going to wait? If this video made you think, subscribe, and if you want to go one step further, watch the next one. Because there I explain exactly what to do in the first minutes of a real crisis, and that is where everything is decided.